It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Menace into Korea. So that was pretty much, long story short, of what my testimony was, and then the next date was sentencing. So sentencing, I go to court for sentencing on July 10th. Also, y'all, I just wanted to clarify some things as well. When I first started the story, I was obviously still going through trial. You can tell from the days that I posted those videos. So when there was a pause break, I was still going through trial and didn't want to talk about what was going on in Korea until trial was over. At the time that I was posting those videos, I knew that trial was coming to an end soon, so I went ahead and started the story and then had a pause in it till trial was over. And then that's when I pretty much resumed telling this story. So just so you all have that timeline. But I walked into court and I'm standing up there for sentencing. The judges they started off and they were like, from the Menace's testimony, which the Menace gave a testimony to the prosecutors prior, they were referencing that, and they were like, the Menace's testimony proves that you were involved in smuggling fent to Korea. And so, y'all, when I tell y'all, when he said that, my heart sunk to the floor. Like, oh shit, this is going bad, this is going bad, this is going bad. And so he ended up turning that around, and he was like, but from your testimony, from your witnesses, and from, you know, everyone else involved, and he listed off some of the evidence that I had in my case file, he was like, it is clear to us that the Menace was lying. So in the case for illegally smuggling fentanyl into Korea, not guilty. And I was like, thank you. Thank you so much. Like, I could have literally cried, okay? And so he goes on to the Adderall, and he says, for the case of smuggling Adderall into Korea, from your education, from your work experience, from your job, we can tell that you're not a dumb girl. You could have easily researched whether or not Adderall was illegal in Korea. And yeah, pretty much guilty on that. And I was like, okay, I can accept that. I can accept that. Also though, like I said, Adderall is in Korea. You can get it from base. So I think, like, if my lawyer, she was a good lawyer, but she just didn't know the SOFA regulations. And I think if she knew the SOFA regulations, she would have been able to fight that a little harder. Like, she would always try to get me to look up the SOFA regulations to fight my case. And I was like, no, here's the regulation. You look it up. Like, you're the lawyer. Why am I finding stuff for you? And like I said, I wasn't really worried about that, and I wasn't really working hard on that. So that's what happened. I got not guilty on smuggling fent into Korea, and I feel like they felt like they had to give me something, so they gave me a slap on the wrist, and they gave me guilty for smuggling Adderall. So I was sentenced to 2 years in prison, and that prison sentence was reduced to 3 years of probation. So what probation means in Korea. I don't have a probation officer. I don't have any of that. I pretty much just can't get in trouble for the next 3 years. Also, if I want to leave and re-enter the country, I have to ask Korea for permission to do that. Obviously, before this trial and everything happened and I ended up having to shell out additional funds, my initial plan really was to resign from my position and go home immediately. But since this next set of trial and kind of everything surrounding it, I ended up having to shell out more money. I just was not completely prepared to leave the way that I wanted to, so I decided to stay. I want to go home. I want to visit my family. I do want to do all that, but I just don't trust Korea to uphold their end of the bargain if they do say that I can return to Korea after leaving to go visit the United States. Because of everything that I went through, I just don't trust that. So I haven't left yet. My contract is up in February. So that's when I'm going to leave. I am just at this moment saving up money and plan to get out of here then. Also, after the final trial date, my lawyer was consistently telling me that I need to appeal for the decision for my prescription medication, and I was just like, no, I have no reason to appeal. That makes no sense. It doesn't hurt me in any way. No. And they pretty much begged me to appeal, and obviously me appealing would mean that the lawyer gets paid again to go through trial again, and my entire time being in Korea would mean that I would be on trial, because as you can see, trial takes a long time and it takes 5 to 6 months. So also during this time, they were trying to convince me to appeal, and they were saying that the lawyer could write a letter to the courts. If I appeal, the lawyer can write a letter to the courts and request that I go home to visit my family. So obviously, I was pissed, because you mean to tell me that that was an option this entire time, and all this time that I've been asking to go home to visit my family, you all have been saying no, that it's not possible, and now all of a sudden if I appeal the court, now it's possible? No. Yep. That's where we're at. I'm just preparing to leave in February. And I can't get in any more trouble, but I don't do anything in Korea anyway to get in trouble, so that's what it is. If I get in trouble, then I'll be retried for all the other charges that happened. So, yeah. Now we're going to get into some of the evidence and the documents from court. So here is one of the court documents, and I'm going to keep scrolling, but you can pause to read. But basically it is talking about how the Menace's statements are inconsistent or contradictory. And it also talks about how the Menace said during his meeting with the prosecutors that I got into his email and got his father's personal information and forged his father's medical documentation. But then it goes on to say that's pretty much impossible, because how would I know the date of his date of birth, date of death, reason for passing? Like, there's no way I would know any of that without the Menace. So it goes on to say that. So this is talking about the Menace's statements in the prosecutor's office, and it talks about the text messages that I mentioned. And it said, in the prosecution meeting, the Menace said that he had never given me painkillers or fent, but then also turned around to submit text messages that asked me, did I want perk? So they finally saw this and realized this, and yeah. It also goes on to say that the Menace said that I took fent regularly and that I had given him fent. So yeah. I blocked out a lot of the information because it is talking about witnesses' statements and people from his past, and it would be identifying information if that was in here. So that's why a lot of that information is blocked out, just to protect those witnesses. But yeah, it's also going on to say that he clearly was involved in illegal rug activity, because he was arrested for it prior to coming to Korea and also after leaving Korea. It also talks about how my doctor also submitted statements for me as well, and my doctor pretty much said that I have never been involved with rugs, and I have been with that doctor since I believe like 2016 or 2015, so that's also there. Can the Menace's doctor say that? I doubt it. So you can pause to read, but this one pretty much talks about how it is strongly suspected that the Menace gave me fent as Percocets. And it also goes on to talk about the incident, the other court case that we had in Korea, where the Menace broke into my home and stalked me and stole things from my home. And it also just goes on to say that the Menace has pretty much been lying since he arrived to Korea. Also, y'all, this was translated in a translation app. So a lot of the times when it says he, it's referencing me. I'm the defendant. But it says he a lot when it should say she. Their translation doesn't translate to she. So, also. So, this one is pretty much talking about when we arrived to Korea. And it's talking about the fent being found in my bag. And it's pretty much saying, like, if I had known that I was doing something illegal, I had time to throw things away, to get rid of things, or to leave the airport. But my actions at the airport did not prove that I knew I was doing something illegal. So me waiting in the waiting area, going back into the airport and, checking on him and everything, it just doesn't make sense that I would do that knowing that I was doing something illegal. So that's pretty much what this is saying. And then it's just like, in conclusion, there's really not enough evidence to prove that I committed a crime. So y'all, don't mind my laundry in the back, but that is finally the end of the Menace saga. Finally. So I do have a live scheduled.
8 hours
I'm
later.
going to get on live next week, Saturday, 8 a.m. my time. So that's like Friday night y'all's time. I don't know. Y'all are going to have to look that up, but it is scheduled. I think you can see the link in my bio. So that will be the final live that I do, answering questions about the Menace. Any lives after that, I will no longer answer questions about the Menace saga unless there are updates of some sort. So yeah. That is it, y'all. I'm finally done. We can get to just get on with life, and I don't have to relive this anymore after Saturday of next week. Thanks. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for the new supporters and the new cousins that I have, my new TikTok fam. So y'all, yeah, I just thank y'all for the support, for real, and I just thank y'all for sitting here through this long story time. I know I'm the most horrible storyteller, but I tried to get it out. I was reliving trauma. No matter how many times I tried to re-record videos, it just never came out right. So, that's just what it is, but it's over, y'all. So, y'all wanted to know who the Menace is, and here's the reveal. I told myself I was never going to post the reveal. I told y'all I was never going to post the reveal. But my intuition has been screaming at me these last couple of days to post this reveal. It's actually been kind of telling me to post everybody, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. But I'm trying my hardest to follow God and to follow what he needs for me to do in these times. Stay tuned to the end because I will be showing additional photos. But here we go. This is Dennis McKinley King Jr. That is my home in Washington, D.C. that he has gone off to lie to other people and tell them that that was his home in Washington, D.C. If you look back on some of my older videos, you can see when I moved into that home, and you can see me doing an apartment tour because that was my dream apartment and I had finally reached that milestone in my life. This is another photo of Dennis McKinley King Jr. This is a photo from the day I was raped by Dennis McKinley King Jr. This is also another photo from Dennis's body from that night. Now those, especially the scratches on his arms, are clearly defensive wounds. And the thing that gets me about those photos is just how weak I was. If I really, truly was biting someone or scratching them, I promise you I can do way more damage than that. And those photos really show me just how much I was trying to pull out any possible strength that I had to get him off of me. This is me all dolled up before meeting the Menace. Me on a chill day before meeting the Menace. Crocs, sweatpants, a onesie. Also me before the Menace. This is me during the Menace in South Korea. If you can see over on my arm, there's a lighter area there where I've covered up bruises with makeup. Look at my eyes.
Black.
Just take a moment to look at my eyes. This outfit choice is also not something I would have put together. When I tell y'all that a narcissist will literally suck. I was tired of looking at that picture. A narcissist will literally suck and drain the life out of you. I don't know who that person was. I have absolutely no idea who that was. They will suck every ounce of beauty from you. Anyway, let's go into who I am now. This is me a few months ago. Also still going through trial, but thriving, to say the least. At this point, I know that I'm okay. This is me on my birthday, just a couple of months ago. I don't know why I'm being led to reveal this and reveal his name, but I am trying to walk in the path that God wants me to walk in. I'm trying to do what I feel like he is telling me to do. So that is DJ or Dennis, whatever you may know him as. That is the man who literally wreaked havoc in my life and others.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional, and yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who survived Dennis with me. Oh Lord, it's been a long day, hasn't it? Thank you, man. I hope y'all hit that link down below for HiveMindLabs.com, because I know y'all sat on y'all's ass, ate chips and dip and everything else and leftovers from last night and all that popcorn and snacks and watched this 6-hour marathon. And yeah, we got to it. And now y'all can go tomorrow and exercise, get off your big ass back and go running. Okay? Unbig that back. Alright? Look at that food. That's just crazy. Alright? Hit that link down below, man. Use the discount code everydaypj on checkout, man. Now, what do y'all think? I'm gonna give y'all my synopsis. I was gonna do this live, but actually I'm gonna go chill afterwards because gotta go to work early in the morning. But I'm gonna tell y'all what. This right here is a wild roller coaster. Now, I've seen some comments where people say she's been caught in some lies. And I'm not going to say that she's lying or that she's leaving stuff out. Or that she's was in on everything. Because it would just be harsh to take away her truth. But what I will say is that there are some things. Oh, and I get why she called him the Menace. Dennis the Menace. That is wild. Dennis the Menace. Anyway, so shout out to Dennis the Menace. Alright. Yeah, what was I? Damn, I was gonna say. Oh, to say that she was in on all this, I don't think so. But I'm just trying to figure out how you couldn't get away Like, there's one thing to take abuse, and there's one thing that you already know. There's a lot of stuff you already know, and you was fighting through it. It's like, how? I'm asking myself, how? Um, and then there was the thing where people don't, the Koreans don't respect women, and you're over there obviously with this guy who is just downright doing you bad, and it's just like, how? How do women end up with guys like this and can't get away? I don't know. I know you don't want to shoot them, go to jail for life, but damn. One thing I wonder is how many guys would defend this? I mean, how many guys would like actually watch their friend put somebody through this? Because as she said, he had a frat brother that would lie for him and do all this stuff. Doesn't sound like too good of a guy, if you ask me, and definitely not for her. So I'm not sure what kind of frat brother they are, but I would never let my brother of any kind go down a rabbit hole like this on a woman, all over drugs. And we not even, I don't know how many drugs we talking about a pill bottle, just a pill bottle. They did all this because he was addicted to pills. Like, eventually he would have withdraw from him eventually, like he did, and he just continued to do more. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, I mean, the story's intriguing. It was long-winded. Unlike you guys who have the ability to fast forward through this, I don't. So most of the times I just have to sit down and watch it, and it was a good watch, and I did fast forward through it. That's why I fast forward through it so I can watch it with you guys. It was very, man, traumatizing, to say the least. I'm glad she coming back home. Cause why, sis? Why are you still over there? I would have took the first F this contract. I'm gonna go back home and get me another government job. I'm gonna be like, look, I done went through some stuff. I done caught a whole case in Korea. I wonder if she can come back and get her government job with her criminal record in Korea. Come back over to the U.S. That's what Donald Trump got to be like. Nah, we don't want them bad. We don't want the bad ones. If you're over there catching cases in other countries, we don't want you over here. We don't want you over here trafficking drugs. That's so funny. That's crazy though. The whole situation just through the roof. I really wanted to go live because I wanted to get people's opinions on this. And it seems like a lot of people are on the fence about this person. Like, it's like some people are trying to, like, they understand her pain. And some people are like, sister, like, you just red flag. Red flags just hitting you all in the face. But one thing she didn't say, and I don't know, I couldn't tell you. I think she's looking at this hindsight. Like, she's telling this story afterwards. But as the story's going on, I can tell you right now, she was in love with him. She was going through it. I mean, you know how you'll break up with somebody, but then y'all don't really make up, but then you like, she's over there in Korea. Who else do she have? So she snuggles up to him. You know, I'm pretty sure she had some of those nights. But sister, it's a lot of military men over there. You could have found any. And this guy, I mean, you're a beautiful lady. This guy who couldn't even do his hair I don't know if she's just showing his worst pictures, but this guy clearly never has his hair done. Clearly. And I think that, like, Let me see. He clearly never has his hair done. So I think it's just like, it's crazy to think that this woman would do all this for this man. Like, I don't know how conniving and stupid you have to be. Like, look, his hair don't look done. He might as well cut them dreads off. His hairline start way back here. Like, look at that mess. Look at that crap. Them dreads is horrible. Sisters, I don't even know whether to call it low self-esteem. I think it's just, she's probably an introvert. So her getting on camera is probably the only interaction she has with people in the outside world. And this guy probably brought that introvert joy out of her and was able to tap into something that she had and that she wanted in life. He was obviously a liar. So he got her caught up. So I think, man, it was just something about her personality that drew her to this man. Because it definitely wasn't his looks. I mean, she's probably one of those quirky girls. We don't know what she's like outside of TikTok, but I guarantee you, it's a personality trait that got her, that kept her with this dude for that long. Because ain't no way. Like, anybody else, a hood chick would have been fighting him every day. I don't want to say, I'm trying to avoid saying that she had low self-esteem, but somewhere in there she didn't feel too good about something. I ain't saying felt too good. She just didn't. Maybe she thought her standards was here. Maybe she wasn't. She was the one that was overlooked in school, so she just drew attention from whoever drew attention to her. She only wanted that attention because anybody, like when she in school, there were other prettier girls. I'm not saying she ugly. I'm just saying, I don't know. But something mentally was attaching her to this guy with these terrible looking dreads. And she loved it. Like I said, she's not a bad looking woman. There was times she was thicker than a snicker. Looks like she looked like even when she was going through the thick of it, she was thicker than a mug. And now that she's out of trial, she's kind of slim. Maybe she got stressed out from trial and lost a little bit of weight. But whatever the case may be, homegirl, you made it through. You come home in February. We're gonna pray that you don't run into that guy because he's still running around here free, lying to folks. Got you all up here about to facing life in prison in South Korea where they don't like women. But everyday people, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I mean, y'all been doing a great job. I appreciate y'all tuning in with me all day. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.